Well, hello, it is Jenny McKenna with McKenna Property Management. Today is June 5th, 2019. So it's been a while since I walked this property, and if you remember, I walked it while all of the seller stuff, who then became the tenant, was still living there. So we're going to see it now vacant. We're at 2148 Sunswept. So I'm going to do a lot of talking. John's going to ask some questions if he's got any concerns. The first thing we want to show and put on video, unfortunately, the seller/tenant left a lot of stuff that needs to be hauled off. So we will be hauling that off and then deducting it from the tenant's security deposit. And that includes any of these items that are in the garage as well. So for the most part, the front yard landscaping looks pretty good. This is not the time of year that you would be coming in and trimming anything. So I have just requested that John make sure that he gets rid of all of the trash, get rid of all that when he does the haul off. Just make sure he sweeps the walk and pretty much take the rock and put the rock over anything that's showing the weed barrier. But we're gonna leave the landscaping for now, what it is in the front yard. When we did this walk almost a year ago, that gate needs to be painted. So it's rusted, it looks bad. This is your first impression. So we do want that gate painted within the bid. Our security door looks pretty good, so we shouldn't have any issues with that. Front door, we can leave it this color in this condition because truthfully, all you're really going to see from the front court area when you're waiting is just the security door anyways. So we'll leave that for now. This is our living room. When the seller was living here, this was a photography office or studio. So there's a lot of things that John needs to take off the walls, patch and repair. First off, the entire house is going to get painted soft tan. All baseboards are going to be redone. They will look like some of the baseboards that we have now that we'll show you, but they've got to be brand new. They're going to be freshly painted, and they're going to be properly installed. So as you can see, we're missing some of the baseboards here. All walls will have soft tan. All door frames will be white. Ceilings will be white, and baseboards will be white. So this room will get painted, and even up into those ceilings, which will make it look a little cleaner, and then we'll get rid of that blue accent that's in the cubby holes there. Tile actually looks really good, so I don't want to mess with this tile. I do want to, however, replace the carpet. So at this point, we're going to just replace anywhere that you see carpet with a little darker color tan. It will work very well with this. And yes, carpet is not as long and durable as ceramic tile, but I don't really want to try and match any of this since the ceramic is about 80% of this downstairs. So we're going to leave the good looking ceramic and we're just going to get some new carpet here. This is the work that was being done from the insurance claim. So all of this is going to get new drywall. John's doing all that as part of his service when he does the full paint. This is the Tiffany light that you had commented on when we were emailing back and forth. After looking at the house and the feel of the house, I am suggesting that you don't worry about those light fixtures right now. That can be something that we do at a later date. There is going to be quite a bit of rehab that needs to be done on this house. That is not something that's going to help or hinder a tenant. It actually looks pretty cool. So my suggestion is you leave all of the Tiffany lights throughout the property. Remember, all doors are going to get a nice fresh coat of white paint. This ceiling fan is pretty ugly and dated, so I would like to remove this ceiling fan and have John put in a nice white ceiling fan that will look good in here. Again, this really just needs new carpet, new paint, and some of these electrical outlet covers, we'll just go back to the solid white rather than getting these custom, some are white, some are custom, so we'll just go back to regular. This is that wall that was textured, which I don't have an issue with. John could just paint over that. But John, we do need to get all these yellowed out outlets. We need to make them all white. So everything throughout the property needs to be a nice fresh white.
Can I remove the old school phone jack?
Yeah, you can go right on. Well, except remember, this is textured.
Sure, I can have it.
So yeah, if you can match all this and make it look good, that would be perfect. The window blanks, for the most part, they are used, and some of them are going to have to be replaced. But if they are working, we are going to leave them. There's a perfect example of one that we would be replacing. See how that is broken? That would get replaced. But for the most part, these are the ones that we like. So if they're working and we can make them, we can untie all this and everything is good, then we're going to use those ones. I like this ceiling fan. In here, we'll start here, then we'll do the kitchen. I saw the email that you want, where you want the face of the fireplace. John's going to find that. He will install that, and then he'll take off this border, so it'll actually just be a nice faced fireplace here. We've got painting. We also need that AC return to be replaced. It looks way too rough. It's got stripped screws, it's bent, it looks like the house it just ages the house. Any broken outlets that you see right here, he will be replacing those. Again, baseboards that you see that haven't been maintained very well, they'll all be brand new. The laundry room, the tenant did leave/seller left one of the appliances. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to get that door cleaned up quite a bit. We will be painting these cabinets in here as well, which are white. So any cabinet that you see will be white here. This, Omar, was the concern for you. This had an espresso half-bath pedestal sink. This is actually going to go to the white cabinet. So this is going to be white cabinet with a sink, and then John's going to put a new mirror up here. We will leave that fixture there. We'll leave the toilet. We'll paint this, and then we'll put the new baseboards in. So this bathroom should look really good when we're done. Now let's talk about what we're going to do in the kitchen. So this is almost going to be a full kitchen rehab because the cabinets all need to be painted. I like your picture that you sent where it's all white with the brushed nickel accent handles. So I gave that picture to John. John has it. He'll be able to match that. The question that I've got for John is, do we want to do a granite countertop that has like a little bit of that brown in it? It wouldn't be as exclusive or as nice as the one that he sent to us because that might be too expensive. Yeah, this is kind of a grade. The granite countertop that you picked here in this example, this is like a grade 3 or grade 4. We don't normally do that in rentals, but we do have one that's got a little bit of brown, speckles in it. And then we could put that in here, which will be tied nicely with the flooring.
May email you the samples?
I would say you want to email it to Omar. Yeah, so that Omar has that. So all this pieced together granite is going to go away. All the grouting is going to go away. Counters are all going to be fresh white. Now let's talk about backsplash. So they took the backsplash all the way up, which is really pretty cool. I would like to have this be removed, and then there is the ceramic glass block. I say ceramic because it looks like ceramic, but it's glass block. I think if we put the glass block behind here that has a little bit of the tan, the dark brown, the white, the clear, I think that would put this perfectly. We would be putting the white cabinets with the countertop, with the flooring. So that's what I would be suggesting here. So this is that glass block behind here. That would also be going up along here. Okay, and then this would be the breakfast bar there.
Do you want the black outlets removed and put in white?
Yes, you're going to need to do that because of that glass block.
Right.
So all these black outlets, in order for them not to stand out and look totally ugly, we're going to need those to go to white. This right here is a boxed fluorescent light. We could live with it, but we are going to have to paint it white, and then John would have to get some clear plexiglass, I think is what it's called, or plexi pieces. Or John can do these two very modern stainless steel or brushed nickel lights that are kind of track. I call them museum lights because you can adjust where the light goes. So John can send you a picture of that, and if you approve it, that's what he can put in. If you're like, nope, that's not in my budget, that's fine. We will have to paint this white then. So one way or another, we've got to make this a little bit more modern. All right, that is everything that is happening downstairs. So let's go upstairs. So of course, this will get new carpet. This will get painted. The baseboards will be nice and beautiful. So since we're ripping up the carpet anyways, this is the perfect time to do the baseboards. So baseboards everywhere you see little small ones will be the nice, what are they, 2.5 inch or something like that.
4.
4 inch, okay, so 4 inch base board, same thing in here. This room, we're gonna take these curtains down, we don't need them, we don't need the curtain rod, so again, we will just have these nice blinds here. Walls will be soft tan, closet doors that are there are gonna be white, and then we'll have new carpet in here. So that's what this room will be. And then, John, there is a crack right here, so when we're doing this door, painting it, that might need a little bit of TLC. And then in this one, we also noticed, and it's actually Alonda who spotted this, if I hadn't opened it, we wouldn't have seen it. We may need to do a new door here. That might be beyond repair. And this is a nice little linen closet. Oh, John's got a question. Let's go take a look.
Can we fix it? Or
Yes, please fix that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, John, this one, as you open this door, you're going to realize needs a whole new door.
Okay.
So what do you do about hinges when they've been painted, repainted, and they look so bad like that?
Can we replace them or we can repaint them?
Okay.
What do you want me to do?
I would think that replacing them would be better than
Okay.
painting them again, because it's going to end up being like that.
What's that mean?
So we would
Brush
want to. Brush nickel would be fine
Gotcha.
for right
On
now.
all of them or just the...
Well, let's leave the doorknobs for whatever knobs we have, because
Oh,
there's
no, I
so
mean the
many.
hinges.
Do what?
The hinges, replace all, like the ones behind you are also white.
Well, I would say white. Let's go white hinges.
Okay.
Are there not white hinges? Okay, or then just paint it. What I'm trying to do is, since we've got brushed nickel and we've got some antique brass
Oh, I see.
and we've got gold in some different places, my thought is let's not draw attention to all of that, so let's try and have this just mesh with the door.
Gotcha.
So if that means we paint them white, then I'm fine with that, and we'll deal with that at a different date. Up here, we need to replace that. That's obviously defective and needs a new attic access panel. And then in this room here,
Oh, jeez.
we've got, hopefully this blind works, but I'm a little skeptical that it doesn't. So this might need to be a blind replacement here. These can come off. I will live with this ceiling fan. I decided that we'll live with the other ceiling fan too, because all of these bedrooms have these small ceiling fans. I don't want to put in the budget replacing all these ceiling fans right now. So let's just get everything cleaned up and we'll leave these ceiling fans for now.
Okay.
We do need to get closet doors.
Yes.
They need to be white, and they could be just a simple raised panel so it matches all the rest of the doors. This will get new carpet. This door frame, I'm not sure. I think you might be able to clean it up, but it needs a little bit of work. This door painted. This shelf gone, so we can get rid of this shelf. We can get rid of these drapes. Make sure these blinds work. This one makes me nervous because it looks like it's broken.
It is.
Okay, so it looks like right now we've got about 4 or 5 blinds that aren't good. Closet doors here as well. And then we'll leave this ceiling fan. And then any outlet that's broken or any outlet that has been painted by the seller, we need to get those cleaned up. Let's talk about this one, John. So we have this bathroom. This was the place of the original leak that happened in March, which I have confirmed is not leaking anymore. So we've got this one fixed. We've got the ceramic tile in here, but we have a sink that is a mess. So I don't know, what do we do with this?
By vanity, I can attach the vanity, we can do it.
Well, he's gonna want this to go white because we're doing white everywhere else.
Sure.
So can you get a new vanity that matches the half bath vanity downstairs?
Yep.
Have that be white, have this all kind of be white?
I'll measure for it.
Okay.
Cool, yeah.
And then I think we can leave this mirror, we can leave the rest of the components in here. Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
Now, this is the master. So here, John, in this master, I don't like how much excess there is. So I think you can cut these off and make this look a little better.
Yep.
And I think we can salvage these 3 blinds. So
Okay.
that would be great. Love the window seat. We'll paint all this. Can the window seat stay a white?
If you want it white.
Yeah, I do. I want that to be kind of an accent.
Stick up.
Yep, so since the door frames are all white, doors are white, ceiling's white, I think this inside area should be white.
Beautiful.
Okay. And then there's really nothing in the closet other than we're just gonna be doing some new carpet in here. Everything's good there. We are missing 2 doors.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got 2 doors here, and we're missing some hinges as well. So if you do end up finding the white hinges, then you'll be able to, if not, you'll paint up to match everything else. So this will all get painted. The shower, the tub, the floor, I like all that. That looks great. However, I would like this countertop to become the same countertop as downstairs in the kitchen.
Gotcha.
So now the half bath and the guest bath are all just going to be white cultured marble because they'll match the white cabinets. Yeah, but this I want it to match the kitchen.
Gotcha.
Okay,
You
and
want
I like
square
those lights.
or round?
Square would be great because square is very modern. We could go with the square, and we are going to be painting these white. You do not need to put the accent handles on any of the bathrooms. Those are just in the kitchen.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
So other than that, I think that's all good.
Water closet's okay?
Yeah, we just need to come in here and paint, and then we're gonna have the new flooring.
Okay.
So that's all that needs to happen in here.
All right, the toilet's okay, everything in here, the water closet?
I think so. Yeah, once you paint it up, should be fine. Nothing that I saw that was of a concern for me.
So loose tiles on the wall, you can fix it.
Yeah, so when you're doing the painting, just make sure that all that just gets attached really well,
Okay, okay.
and that should be fine. Okay, so now let's go out to the backyard. This is another example of those Tiffany lights that we were discussing. This window, you can't feel it because you're in a video, but trust me, this is hot. This is like, I feel like I am in an oven like right now. Or maybe that's just the spotlight on me. Anyways, we want that window with a blind. And unfortunately, Omar, it is going to be a custom cut blind because you can see how big it is and how narrow it is. But there's just no way around it. That has to be done. We do not need to do the other two that are in the corner, but we do need to do that long one. All right, let's go out to the backyard. And we will see what needs to be done out here. So all of these lights need to be removed and hauled off. This table hauled off. This fountain could stay if you want it to. It's never going to work. So if we just leave it, we're leaving it out of convenience so that we don't have to haul it off. But in reality, we're not going to try and make it work. We're not telling a tenant that it's working. This thing is just here. They could put some fake plants in if they want. I'm not planning on wanting to paint. Okay, yeah, so that has to be reattached. So anything that's part of this patio needs to be reattached. All of this outside walls, I don't want to paint right now. We're just going to leave it the way that it is at this time. On the next go around, that is when you're going to want to clean up these back walls. And that just means that you're just going to put a nice coat of paint on. All of this can stay just the way it is. It's very minor cleanup. That can get thrown away because we don't need any solar screens. Anything that's in that fire pit can just be put in a bag and put away. I don't need to remove that stump. I would like, John, if these are at least underground. Sure. You know, just so that they don't see it, even if it's not working. And then all of this just needs to be underground again so that there's a little bit of cleaning that happens here. And other than that, I think let's just take a look on the other side. Note that crack in that fence. I'm not worried about it. There are going to be some people that are going to question it. If we have to fix it, I've had to do it on my own property. All we have to do is take that section out. There's a tree of some kind that I think is pushing on it. So if that's the case, that tree would have to be shimmied down or that root would have to go away. And then you would just take the 4 or 5 cedar blocks on each side and just rebuild that wall. It is not a safety issue. There is rebar going all the way through there. That wall is not going anywhere. However, some tenants might think that it's an issue. If you go to sell the house, they might think it's an issue. So it could be something in the future. And then this is all electrical. Is that a gas line or an electrical line? Electrical. There was something. Yeah, hey, there's nothing in there, so we'll leave that there. So that's good.
Leave it over there.
All right, so that is the house. John's going to put his bid together for you. The bid is going to be a little bit different than the original bid, only because we now know what you want for your kitchen. We also have to add that pedestal sink and that half bath. We also have to do the sink that sink and cabinet in the upstairs guest room, and the new countertop that's going to be in the master bathroom. So there's a few things that we're going to have to adjust that we didn't see or know that we wanted to do at our last walkthrough. But when this gets all said and done, this should be a really great house. It should rent out pretty fast.